All right, so I just want to kind of do like a little freestyle of Switch 2 news because I'm just trying to uh, follow this on a daily basis and try to chronicle, you know, um, we go here, trying to chronicle what's been going on. So I just did a quick search, Nintendo Switch 2 news. I'm using DuckDuckGo. Get your little AI blurb here. It's letting you know it's going to be released on the 5th. We already know that. Starting price of $4.49. I hope that it stays that way. By the way, DuckDuckGo is a nice alternative to other search engines. Private. All right. So we got the news here. This is like mostly today, right here in this section. Below that, the last video, I already went to the Nintendo official site. So all these details are there on Nintendo.com. All right, and then the other results below that are a little bit dated. Today's April 14th, so this is going back to the 2nd. We don't care about that. A lot has changed since then. All right, so I'm going to focus on this area here. Okay, so 7 hours ago, Tech Radar, Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders live. All the latest links to check as UK begins second week, while US pre-orders remain delayed. So basically, you know, our friends in the UK are pre-ordering Switches, and us here in the US, we're just here waiting. Polygon, about 6 hours ago, Zelda games on Switch 2 will include weapon repairs, but in the most Nintendo way. I don't think I've heard this from the usual suspects on YouTube. Uh, all those people that have great information covering this. I mean, there's just so much information coming at you almost like every minute. So really, everything can't get covered. And probably somebody already talked about this. I just missed it. So let's check this out real quick here. So I'm just gonna click right into the site. I don't have a script. I'm not editing. All right, Polygon. Zelda games on Switch 2 will include weapon repairs, but in the most Nintendo way. Hyrule passes new role to repair law. That's funny. Okay, so that's today, 140. All right, let's see here. All right, so, okay. So you're using the Zelda Notes app. I guess it's going to help you to do repairs for equipment like swords, shields, and bows. Okay, nice. Okay, so there's an overview trailer. All right, that demonstrates this briefly. I didn't even see this. It's on April 2nd. I missed that. All right. The video showed off Zelda Notes. I saw that. Daily bonus feature, which will reward players with perks like free meals or full refills of health, stamina, and energy cell power. Okay. Nintendo also hinted at bow repair. So a little bit like, when you tap in the amiibo on the controller. Okay. All right. All right. They're shouting out Zeltik. Zeltik is a great YouTube. I think Zeltik does the audio stories about Zelda. If you don't know this guy, check him out. Zeltik. I'm gonna hashtag him in the comments. I listen to his stuff quite often. All right. So he's a major Zelda fan, true Zelda fan. Okay. And let's see, is this his did they link to his video in here? This is Nintendo, I think. Yeah, it's Nintendo of America. But okay, but they did link to him. All right. Yeah. So like I said, yeah. So I mean, if you know, you know. Zelda knows random bonuses are kind of similar to how amiibo figures will give players random rewards in Breath of the Wild: The Tears of the Kingdom. But with the exception of equipment repairs, the options seem much more limited and mainly look like minor perks. Okay, that makes sense since you're not paying for the app. At least you're not paying with money. Okay. All right. So these editions will be released on June 5th. Notes will be available as part of the Nintendo Switch app. Okay. And can be downloaded on Android and iOS. Okay. Nice. All right. So not going to go into the comments. Let's back it up. That was Polygon. Digital Foundry, another awesome source for Nintendo and other just game news in general. All right, so Digital Foundry goes hands on with Cyberpunk 2020 2077 on Switch 2. All right, yeah, this is coming from Eurogamer.net. I want to definitely be careful, or I want to take care to shout out all the resources that I'm looking at. I think that's important. All right, can the new Nintendo console handle it? It certainly looks the part, but an optimization push is required before launch. Okay. All right. I'll be checking this out. Oh, wait a minute. Eurogamer? Oh, so what does he write? Does Digital Foundry write for this? Okay. Okay. So does he write for this website, or is this his website? All right, cool. Anyway. All right. Once in a generation kind of game, perhaps like Crisis of its day. All right, definitely gonna pick that game up. Let's see. You can definitely check out the links. I'll link to all this stuff in the video if I remember to. Okay. All right. This game has been in the works for a long time. Code that we saw, is just a snapshot of what the game as it looked a couple months ago. Okay. Ooh, we're taking a shot. Digital Foundry did not attend the New York and Paris events. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see. Hmm. Okay. So this person is suggesting that Cyberpunk 2077 may be too big for the Switch 2. What? So we're gonna have to definitely check out Digital Foundry's video, hands on, see what they say. I mean, these guys, Digital Foundry knows what they're talking about when it comes to the technical aspects of these systems. All right, so I'm gonna watch this video later. You can watch this video here. All right. Okay. Anyways, we go back to that. Check out the video. Digital Foundry, Eurogamer. Shouts out to them. Okay. WCCFtech.com, 14 hours ago. All right, it's getting a little older here. Nintendo Switch 2 price could increase significantly in the US, supplier warns. Well, I don't know how that's possible. Well, let's see. 42 comments. We're not going to read those. All right. An internal assessment memo from a major unnamed Apple and Nintendo supplier seen by Nikkei Asia, apologize if I said that wrong, highlights how game consoles made in China are still subject to 145% tariff in the United States, which means that the Nintendo Switch 2, which is primarily made in China, is in line for a significant price increase over the announced launch price of $449.99. The PlayStation 5 is also primarily made in China, so a price hike in the United States is also expected for Sony system. I think I already heard from maybe Spawn Wave that, or I think it was Spawn Wave, that some of the different Sony systems, not in the US market, but other markets. Oh, there we go. See, just going to keep reading. It has already seen a price increase in Europe, the United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. All right, that's mainly on the digital edition. Okay. All right. So, okay. Oop. Actually, I don't really like checking out the comments, but let's see. LOL. They lied to you. Is this person putting in their own video there, promoting their own videos? 450 times 10% equals 495. Simple math, people. I say it be launched at 499 with currency at the way it be then in May. Maybe Nintendo might offer a game, but they don't even include the $10 how-to game now. Okay, okay, all right. The troll babies. That's what we call them here in the YouTube streets. All right. Okay, so boom. Okay, so next one 9 hours ago. So about a few hours more recent tariff hit. Here we go. 12 hours of tariffs. Boom, boom, boom. 8 hours ago. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders, delays, prices, release date. Okay, all okay. Everything. Everyone's talking about the same stuff. Pre-orders live in the UK. Pre-order price expected to take a massive hit. Oh, this is okay. Different sources now. Well, let's see what this person says. GamingBible.com, 15 hours ago. Nintendo Switch 2 infinitely delayed for millions. I don't know about that. I'm thinking Nintendo's gonna, if you check on Nintendo.com and put in your credentials there, if you meet the threshold, might be able to get something from there. They're gonna be announcing something or starting to send something out apparently on May 8th. All right, so Nintendo Switch 2 indefinitely delayed for millions. How many millions? Like Kip Duran, Star Wars. Kip Duran killed billions. Remember Kip Duran in Star Wars? He killed billions of people using the Sun Crusher. Any Star Wars fans out there? Anyways, that was an obscure reference. All right, so the rest of the world should be unaffected, though. Okay, blah 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 blah. All right. That said, Nintendo fans in the U.S. have still taken great offense to the price of the new Nintendo console. No, we haven't. We know. I think we're pretty cool with how much the console costs. It's the games. This is the issue. The games, the new games will cost. That's the issue. Price of the games. Console, that's what it is. All right. So that's about it. I want to keep this pretty short so I can continue to do this at least a few times a week leading up to the launch. Stay tuned. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Actually, it's getting a little late in the evening. I probably don't have time to link to these sources, but here you go. Just pause the video, watch it again. GamingBible.com. Uh, let's see. WCCFtech.com. All right. Eurogamer.net. And then Polygon. Polygon.com is what I went into. All right.